I want to stick on a similar subject that the brother spoke on before. Who got an apocrypha? We need an apocrypha. Wisdom of Solomon. So now what I want to talk about is a strange salvation. Because a lot of people are under the concept and the idea that the salvation is coming a certain way by a certain being who has a certain look, right? So the norm is something we see every day, right? This store's here, this store's here. Something strange is what? Out of the ordinary, correct? So now we want to deal with a strange salvation. Is that Wisdom of Solomon 5, I think it is. Wisdom of Solomon 5.
He went to Leone, and there's a town called Freetown that they built after they was dropped off over there.
Okay, I'm sorry, brother. I didn't catch it. Say that.
There's a town that my ancestors built in Sierra Leone called Freetown, because after they was dropped off there, after the slave was free, they was dropped off over there.
Okay.
In Sierra Leone.
Civil in Virginia.
There's a cotton tree and a lot of slave plantations that was there.
That's in Virginia also. Do you know also on one of the street signs it says the freedom of these Israelites and Africans that were brought over here. So they acknowledge the two were brought together. So some of us might have African ancestry. But I'll say this, you cannot come to this book and to this word unless the Most High and the Mashiach Yahweh Christ call you, no matter who you are, right? So again, we want to deal with a strange salvation. So we know this is the norm, something we see every day. Something strange is unusual. So we're going to read Wisdom of Solomon 5. Go ahead.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Then should the righteous man stand in.
So the righteous man is standing. Go ahead.
Great boldness before the face of such as had afflicted him.
So the righteous man is going to stand in boldness of those that afflicted him. Yeah. We were afflicted, correct? So now we follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, we become righteous. So then we can stand in boldness. Just like to an extent, we're in our righteousness. We're building up to it. So we stand boldly before everybody that walks out here. So we'll stand in boldness to those that afflicted us, to our enemies. Go ahead.
And made no account of his labors.
So meaning, so when we deal with slavery, right, they made no account of our labors. It's not taken into consideration. They don't care. They will not talk about it. So we're standing in boldness and in righteousness in front of our enemy that took no account of anything we did. So when we're standing out here and you have Europeans, you have everyone else coming, right? And they look at us like we're crazy. We're standing here in boldness in front of that enemy that didn't account for anything that happened to us in the past. Go ahead.
When they see it, they should be troubled.
When they see it, they shall be troubled. So something's coming that they can see and they'll be troubled by it. Go ahead.
With terrible fear.
With terrible fear. Something is coming with terrible fear. I want you to hold that for a second and think about Trump's space program. If there's no aliens or no nothing, why do you need to make a space program? Because there's something out there you're afraid of. Go ahead.
And should be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation.
Shall be amazed at the strangeness of the salvation. But we're taught salvation is a normal thing in church. Why is it told to be strange? Because it's not what you think it is. The church tells you it's one way. He's going to come down, he's going to hold hands, he's going to do this, and his pure white skin, and he's going to be smiling, everything's going to be great. That's normal. What's strange is it's going to be darkness.
Right.
What's strange is there's going to be destruction.
Right.
What's strange is there's fire. Right. What's strange is his skin does not look like that. So this is the strangeness that they're talking about, and amazed by it because they're shocked. Wait a minute. Go ahead, keep reading. I want you to keep reading. I'll clue you in the rest of that.
So far beyond all that they look for.
So far beyond all that they look for. You're looking for what's in, not even in the book, what you've been told. Oh, he's coming. Oh, in this cloud, he's going to love everybody and pick us up. It's so far beyond that. Go ahead.
And they repenting and growing for anguish of spirits.
So they're anxious. So they're repentant and growing for anguish of spirit. So they're dying on the inside. Now, wait a minute. What is this? This is not what we've been taught. But that's what's in the book. But because no one knows what's in the book, the salvation becomes strange. Because it's not taught to you as a norm.
Right? All right. Of the spirit should say within themselves, this was he who he has sometimes in derision.
So now the spirit within these people who afflicted us, who didn't account for any of our suffering, who are looking for this white Christ coming out their air, the spirit is saying to them, wait a minute, this is who saving him? This is not what we thought.
Right.
Why? Because the book is not taught. An ideal is taught. Something. So what's happening? The reason you have a white Christ is dominance. It's psychological dominance. Because when you go in and you take over a land, right? You erase the name of the people, you erase the language, and any connection to the past. You make it all about you now, right? So now the God of that land is going to be you. So now that they had control so long, now it's just balancing that. Now we got to keep things the way we had it. So I got to keep Christ white, and I got to keep you ignorant. I got to make sure you can't read. I got to make sure you can't work. These are all the things that are done to us. This is what makes child salvation strange, because he's not coming to the one who's dominating. He's coming to the one that's underfoot. Yeah. Understand? What verse? Third verse. Okay, go ahead. Third.
They like worshiping the white man.
They like worshiping the idea of the white. They are worshiping the white. Because when you have that image, imagine this, right? You're in your country, right? You're in your country, it's your people or whatever, and you talk about God and you got all this greatness and now power and everything else, and someone shows you a picture that this is God and yours means nothing. How does that make you feel? Thank you, brother. That's an insult, is it not? You put up someone that does not look like you, doesn't speak your language, that's an insult to you. Insult to your mind and into your spirit, right? So what happens? So we couldn't just do that. I can't just walk in the middle of Africa, oh yeah, this is a white guy. I gotta beat it into you, because you're not stupid enough to fall for that, right? So go ahead, read else, what else you got?
It says, and a proverb of reproach.
And a proverb of reproach. We're disgusted, go ahead.
We fools accounted his life madness.
So, if you haven't figured it out, the fools that's being talked about in this book are white people. I'm sorry to say, no, not just. And anyone else that thinks that is the image of Christ are the fools in this book that they're talking about. Go ahead, read that again.
We fools account his life madness.
We fools account his life madness. We're in the streets, we're robbing, we're stealing. We even account our life madness, but it's madness to them. Who the hell are they supposed to be? They're all in the ghettos. They don't do anything. They can't learn. Your life is madness. What good is coming out of your life? Go ahead.
All right. And his end to be without honor.
So his end, your death has no honor. So it has no honor, right? Yeah. You give honor to people you respect, right? And we're not respected. Our life has no honor. Hold that. Give me Psalms 10. So if your life has no honor, right, I have no respect for you. If I have no respect for you, I can kind of touch you now because you mean nothing to me, right? You're a bunch of nothingness. Psalms 10. So this is the reason why this is called character assassination. Yeah. So when they assassinate your character, who you are as a person, who you are in the world, who you are to everyone, who you are to the Most High, I can touch you because now you become an animal to me. You're worthless. Go ahead. Let me see. Let me.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Do you know where the pastors, they, especially over there in the western part of Africa,
so you know, I'm glad you keep saying the western part of Africa, because when Rome took over, right, and they destroyed the temple, right, and they pushed the Israelites, all were pushed to the west coast of Africa. So the very thing you're talking about is that section of where the Israelites were before they were shipped off. Yeah. So we're having the same conversation just on a different continent. Go ahead.
Yeah, like, where do they have like some kind of power? Like, I don't know where the pastors
power is financial, and the power comes from the Most High because we were disobedient to Him. Right. So they were given the power to rule over everyone and over the earth. There were people that resisted, but right now we're so psychologically broken. They can say jump. We won't say how high. We'll say, do you want me to lift you with me when I jump? That's how bad we are, right? Let me give you an idea of what happens to the poor, the disrespect. Let me start. So we're at 10. Go ahead. Start at 2.
Psalms chapter 10, verse 2.
Go ahead.
The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor.
The wicked in his pride persecutes the poor. So the wicked, right? So we have those who we were talking about who pushed the Israelites over to West Africa, who's controlling everything. They oppress the poor. Right, go ahead. In his pride, I can do anything. I oppress the poor. Go ahead.
Let there be taken in the devices that they have imagined.
So the devices that they make trap you financially. You go for a loan, you think you're getting a house, and meanwhile it's a balloon loan. In 1 year, you think you're paying $200 a month. The next year is $5,000. That's a device to trap you and to hold you down. All of these things are devices to trap you and hold you down. Go ahead.
All right. Let there be taken in the devices that they have imagined.
Go ahead.
For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire.
So he boasts of his heart's desire. Anything I want, I can do. If I want that place and I can't get to it as a river, I'm going to build a bridge and I'm going to take it. If I want that ghetto slum that you're living in, I'm going to get the financial means and a group together and I'm going to take it. Anything he divides in his heart against the poor, the wicked, and his pride, he will do. Go ahead.
And blesseth the covetous.
And he blesses the covetous. He blesses people that want things. If you don't want anything, if it's not about material, he has no time for you because you're not making him money. Go ahead.
Whom the Most High abhorreth.
He abhorred. The Most High can't stand people like that. Go ahead.
Yeah. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after the Most High.
The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, his being, how he looks, won't seek the Most High. Why would I seek the Most High if I have all the money, all the cars, and all the women? I don't need him. I have every country. I don't need him. So the wickedness of my countenance prevents me from even looking that way. Go ahead. That's why most of the atheists and the godless people are European. And what do? They influence people. Think about this. Think of how hurtful and how wicked this is. Acceptance, right? Everybody wants acceptance. Once upon a time, that was a good word. So now everybody's telling you accept every homosexual, accept every transgender. It's okay, accept everybody. But if you say Christ is black, they won't accept that. Why? I'm supposed to accept this man as a woman, but you can't accept a color change?
Right.
That I didn't even prove to you was real yet. You won't even accept the idea. That's wickedness.
I'm thinking lately. I don't think white people have a soul. Like I don't know why.
I don't even know what you're saying about that. But that's a heavy thought. That's a heavy thought. I'm not going to touch it. Go ahead.
The Most High is not in all his thoughts.
The Most High is not in all his thoughts. So, right, the Most High is not in his thoughts. So if I'm telling you to accept all this nonsense, you can't be in my thoughts because everything he teaches is opposite of what we do. Go ahead.
His ways are always grievous.
His ways are grievous. It causes people pain. The way he lives pains other people. A capitalist system pains other people. Yeah, it gives you the opportunity to get ahead, but everyone around you is failing.
That's right.
That's capitalism. Go ahead.
His ways are always grievous.
Right.
Thy judgments are far above out of his sight.
The judgments of the Most High above out of his sight. What? He doesn't like what? So what? I run all of this. I don't need a God. That's how they think. Go ahead.
Right. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them.
So as all of enemies, he puffeth after them. He's like anxious. Go ahead.
Yeah. He has said in his heart, I shall not be moved.
In his heart, I shall not be moved. No matter how badly I strike you down, it won't move me. Because I'm God of this world. I say this wasn't a bad idea. I put it on the news, everyone says that wasn't bad. How often are we killed on the news and everybody's okay with it? Yet when something else comes, I'm not knocking what's going on. It's terrible. With the Palestinians, everybody else, they want us to cry. They want us to join the bandwagon because we got the civil rights things. So what we are to them is a catalyst. Use the black people, we'll get sympathy, and we'll put our problem in front and throw those niggas right back where they were. It continues to happen. Go ahead.
As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them.
Go ahead.
He has said in his heart, I shall not be moved.
Go ahead.
For I shall never be in adversity.
Right? He shall never be in adversity. He won't have an enemy. Go ahead.
His mouth is full of cursing.
His mouth is full of cursing. Everything out of his mouth is to curse us and what we do. Go ahead.
And deceit.
And deceit. Go ahead.
And fraud.
Go ahead. Keep reading.
Under his tongue is mischief and vanity.
Lying. Vanity. How I look, what I own. Go ahead.
He sitteth in the lurking places.
So now let's get to us being killed on the street, right? What happens? We get killed on the street on a regular basis. Gun, no gun. We get shot down, do we not? Right? Before we get, Zechariah, is that not guilty? Yeah. Hold that. All right, continue to read. So now this is how the police sit and watch us. But now notice this is twofold. The police cannot hunt you down if you are doing the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. If you are going against the Most High, he will send his he will send his enemy to do the handiwork for him. So you got to keep in mind that you got to do what you need to do to avoid it. But doesn't mean it can't happen in the end. You have to be tried. But go ahead.
He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages.
So he sits in the lurking places of the villages. He's sitting at the corner. He's sitting over there and he's watching everybody. He's watching, waiting for you to make a mistake. Go ahead. All right. Go ahead.
In the secret places doth he murder the innocent.
In the secret places. They don't murder out in the open in front of everybody. It's always off somewhere. It's always somewhere we ran off. You got shot. So you murder the innocent in the secret places. But now there's cameras that we can watch it. Go ahead.
His eyes are privily set against the poor.
His eyes are privily set against the poor. He secretly hates the poor. So I will hunt you down. He hides in the secret places and watches what the poor does. Because what do poor people do? They survive based on necessity, what they need. So there's a potential for them to steal. There's a potential for them to look in the window too long. So he's watching and waiting for the mistake. Go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. That's true.
He lies and waits secretly as a lion in his den.
Secretly as a lion in his den. If a lion is waiting in his den and there's prey out there, what's he going to do when he comes out?
Attack him.
He's going to kill him.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
He lieth and wait to catch the poor.
Right?
He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net.
He catches the poor when he's drawn into his net. Door might be open, purse might be left on the ground, opportunities might come up with people walking with the money out, but this is Satan's work. That's how he does it. He leaves the opportunity. You have to be smart enough and wise enough not to take it, because there's a lion waiting for you. Once the moment you take it, now you've allowed him to touch you. Go ahead. So he waits for the poor to kill him. Go ahead.
Verse 10. He croucheth and humbleth.
Crouch and wait. That's how a lion kills. Go ahead.
And humbleth himself.
And humble, he relaxes. Oh, okay. I'm cool. Go ahead.
That the poor may fall by his strong ones.
But the poor may fall by the strong ones. So the strong guy's coming, he's relaxed, but you don't see it coming. Right? When you see most people that do fights online, right, they talk, oh yeah, turn it sideways. Turn it sideways to strike. Same thing with the police do when they're in their negativity. They walk, oh hey, what's going on, buddy? Something wrong? He's lurking. That's a lion. He's humbling himself in order to make the attack. The lion hides in the grass in order to make the attack on the day. He doesn't just roar and go get him because he's going to run. I got to sneak up on you, right? So now we got that. What happens when he finally kills you? What happens in the news? You got that?
Yeah.
So now they kill you, right?
Yeah.
All of this happened. Oh, this brother's dead. And da. What happens?
This is Zechariah, chapter 11, verse 4.
Go ahead.
Thus said the Most High the Power.
This is the Father speaking. Go ahead.
Feed the flock of the slaughter.
That's us, the flock of the slaughter. Feed them. Go ahead.
Who possesses slay them.
Who's possessors, right? So when we came here slaves, we became a possession, correct? Do the possessors not slay us? Do they not kill us? Go ahead.
And hold themselves not guilty.
They kill us in the street, they choke us to death, and what?
Hold themselves not guilty.
You run away, you get shot in the back, and what happens?
Hold themselves not guilty.
Is this 2,000-year-old book not accurate to this date?
Right.
That's a living word, because it doesn't die. It will replay over and over until the end comes.
Right.
So this is the purpose of this book. This is the purpose, to teach you that this is a living word. It comes from a living power. So now we have to identify you with the people in the book. So now we know we came here by way of slavery, correct? So the brothers read before Deuteronomy 28 by way of slavery. Okay.
This is Revelation chapter 9 verse 21.
Right.
Neither repent they of their murders.
Right. So neither repent they of their murders. They're not sorry. Go ahead.
None of their sorcery.
Nor of their sorcery. None of the things we prayed about you dying, we won't repent of that either. Go ahead.
None of their fornication, of their thieves.
Fornications, whether that be with women or whether that be serving other gods like Satan, that's a fornication. So this is deep. So it's a physical kill and it's spiritual. I'm wishing you dead. I'm going to make it happen because I have the power to do so. I have the countenance. I have the money. I have the land. I have the territory. And I don't need to look to a power to punish me because he didn't do it before. He's not going to do it now. That's called short-sightedness because he can't see into the future. Only a godless person sees just today. But as you read and understand his word, you will start to see past today. You will see full circle. That everything's coming back around, but that circle has an end. That end is the Mashiach Yahweh. Right. So now, Yes. Let's go back to the Apocrypha. The straight salvation. Okay. So now straight salvation, right? So we know. So we have this face, right, of this man with his brown hair, long hair, somewhat maybe attractive. They use the best looking Europeans in the movies to portray this man, right? Each movie he gets better looking than he did the past time, right? So let's go to Isaiah 53. Bring it up. Yeah, 50. I think it's 53, right? The description of Christ. So now this is Isaiah prophesied. It's 53, right? I think
53. I think 53.
I think it starts in 1. So now Isaiah is prophesying of the Christ to come, the Mashiach, how he looks. And we're gonna understand why we put devil horns on him, right? So we remember we went to an all dark place, all dark people, had a dark God and gave him this, so it's an insult. So now we put the horns on him, take the insult back. Now we're gonna prove to you that that's not the one in this book. Let's go.
All right, this is Isaiah chapter 53, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Who have believed our report?
Who believes what we say? Go ahead.
And to who is the arm of the Most High revealed?
Who is he showing himself to in the world? Go ahead.
Verse 2. For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant.
He's growing up as a tender plant. He's soft. He has good heart, right? He's clean. Go ahead.
And as a root out of a dry ground.
A dry ground. There's no spirit there. There's no faith there. So he's growing up as a tender plant amongst dry ground, amongst dry bones, in the middle of the desert in Israel. Go ahead.
He had no form, no comeliness.
No form. Form means shape. So he's not built. Right. Comeliness means beauty. So he's not attractive. So now we can take away these late model movie figures that they're using to make this man, right? Go ahead.
And when we see him, there is no beauty.
When we see him, there's no beauty. Why would you use your most attractive man to make someone that's purposely not attractive? Why do you think he's purposely not attractive? So you can focus on what he says. Why are women told to wear modest clothes? So you can focus on how they think. This is why Christ is not attractive. So you can focus on his words and what he thinks and what he needs to tell you.
That we should desire him.
So that we should desire him not, should not desire him. Right. There's no desire like, oh, okay. Now, even without, I have to throw this in, no homo, right? No homo. So if there's a guy who's strong and intelligent and attractive, you'd be attracted to him. Not because you want him, but because, oh, yeah, this is good. I want to be known with him. But are you paying attention to what he's saying? This is how people pick presidents. Oh, wow, Clinton was good looking. What is he saying? He told you I'm going to kill you, but because he's good looking, oh, well, you know, he looks different than the other guy, so I'm going to vote for him. That's a stupid mentality, right? So now we see that he's not attractive. Let's deal with his color. So let's go to Revelation 1 and 13. 1 and 13. So now we're going to give you his color. Matter of fact, Daniel 10 and 6. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on, get that.
He's not no white man.
10 and 6. And you hold the Revelation. So now, they say, right?
About that too.
Right.
Solomon.
See, good. They say
Lamentation, I think it was, or Song of Solomon.
Song of Solomon. There you go. We're gonna get that too. So now, notice what he's saying right now, right? Okay. So they said there's no color in the Bible. Oh, God just accepts there's no color in the Bible. Really? We're gonna read this to you. Daniel 10 and 6.
Daniel chapter 10, verse 6.
This is Daniel seeing the vision of the Mashiach, the Christ to come. Go ahead.
His body also was like the beryl.
The beryl. He's wearing green.
And his face as the appearance of lightning.
Lightning. He gave off power, light, the light in the world. Go ahead.
And his eyes as lamps of fire.
Lamps of fire, fiery. He drank wine. He had rage. There was power behind him. Go ahead.
And his arms as his feet like
his arms
and his
feet.
And his feet.
Like what?
Like in color.
Like what?
Color.
Color. The word they say does not exist in the Bible. His arms and his feet like in color to what?
To polish brass.
To polish brass. Brass is anywhere from gold to brown. Polished brass. Now let's go to Revelation 1 and 13. So now we're going to further this. So Daniel saw it. Now we need John to see it.
Right. Revelation chapter 1, verse 13.
Right.
In the midst of the 7 candlesticks,
right.
One like unto the Son of Man,
7 candlesticks,
clothed with a garment down to the foot,
right,
and girt about the pack with a golden girdle.
A girdle, almost like this brother's the WWF belt type. A golden girdle. Go ahead.
All right. It says, his head and his hair were white like wool.
So his head and his hairs were white like wool. Only specific people have wool hair. Wool, if you look at the texture of wool and its song, it's called a nap. When people say nappy hair, it refers to one type of people, right? What was that? Ima said nappy-headed hoes. He could have said woolen-haired hoes too. It would have been the same thing. Naps, go ahead.
As white as snow.
His hair was white. So again, we got part of his color already. Now his hair is white, but his hair is brown. But they'll argue, oh, well, that was in the flesh versus spirit. That's not right. Go ahead.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Twice. We got the power behind him. We got passion behind him. He drank wine. In a hot environment, your eyes go red. Go ahead.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
Fine brass, golden to brown.
As if they burned in a furnace.
Now you took this golden brown bread, let's say, and you put it in the oven as if they burned. So now he's even darker than he was the last time we heard about him. So again, this image is removed again. So now he just grew the horns out and the tongue. So we're going to add to him. So let's go to, let's make him say it himself. What was it, Revelation 2:18? I think it was. You took that? 2:18? Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, because yo, I used to come here back in 90 and I used to buy myself a brass chain. I don't know if y'all remember when I had the green stand.
Yeah.
I was in Fort Greene Projects. Yo, I ain't gonna lie to you, the brass, it turns brown.
And when
it wasn't gold. It looked like gold at first, but
and then it gets darker.
It got dark and shit. Yeah.
Understood. Go ahead. 2:18. Let me see.
That's brass right there. It's dark brown. It's really dark brown.
Revelation 2:18. So Daniel said it. John said it. Now the Mashiach Christ is going to say it. Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 2 verse 18.
Go ahead.
And unto the angels of the church in
Thyatira.
Right. These things said the Son of the Most High.
So the Son of the Most High, the Son of Man, the Son of God is Christ. Right? These things saith the I'm saying this. Go ahead.
Who have his eyes like unto a flame of fire.
Again. Flames of fire. We keep repeating it because they want you to know we're talking about the same one. Go ahead.
And his feet like fine brass.
And his feet like fine brass. So now he's saying what he looks like. I have eyes, flames of fire, and feet of brass. John, feet of brass. Revelation 1-13, feet of burnt brass. Daniel, arms and feet. Brass. His whole body is that color.
Brother, I got a question. I don't mean to cut you off.
That's fine.
You know what I'm saying? I was born here, but my parents are Puerto Ricans. They came here in the 50s.
The tribe of Ephraim.
Yeah. Now my question is this.
Yeah.
If I'm Caribbean, right, and I'm part of the 12th tribe.
Not Caribbean, but
I'm part of the 12th tribe.
Right.
Why I came out light? You know what I'm saying?
Well, now, understand this also. There was mixing in, just like we had with the slaves. Oh, you got that?
I'm going to be honest with you, man. There's times I feel like I'm cursed.
Oh, hey.
Like, I mean, you know,
hey,
like
there's nothing wrong with that.
Let me get
you know what I'm saying?
All right, good.
I don't want people, you know what I'm saying, like confusing me like I'm a white dude or I'm a European, because I'm not European.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't believe that. I don't believe that. If you guys are saying that I came from European background, even though I heard we got raped by Europeans, but
we're gonna show you.
I ain't got no European in me.
This is Hosea chapter 7 verse 8.
Okay,
right? Ephraim, he had mixed himself among the people.
Mix himself among the people. So this is your people. Go ahead.
Right? Then he said, Ephraim is a cake not turned.
Not turned, so it's not as dark. So it's light on one side, but the other side was dark. Right? So this is why you see sometimes abuela and abuelo super dark, and then everybody's light.
Right.
So it's a cake unturned. So we got one side dark and the other side light. Right.
Exactly.
He says, verse 9, strangers had devoured his strength.
So strangers that came in and took your strength, the beauty of your land, all the riches that you had in the port of the rich, Puerto Rico, they took. Just like I just came back from there with my wife, right? They said, oh, the hurricane was going on, destroyed her. It did not. I just came. The island is fine. The only thing missing is the street lights. They're not working. The south side of the island got destroyed, but not the rest.
Yeah,
so they're lying.
You're right about that. Yeah. I know. I got family out there. Yeah,
exactly.
Right.
Go ahead.
All right, it said, the strangers had devoured his strength.
Devoured his strength. Go ahead. And not only that, you got a guy in office, one of the governors, right, who Trump likes, who he sent $86 billion to. But why is the rest of the town not fixed? Because it's a money thing between them and his people. Go ahead.
And he know it not.
And he doesn't know that. Ephraim doesn't know that's going on. The average one doesn't know what's going on. Go ahead.
Say, yea, gray hair are here and there upon him.
So
that
yeah,
he
that's
knew not.
stressing you out. Go ahead.
And the pride of Israel face, and they do not return to the Most High their power, none seek him for all this.
So now what that's saying is the pride of Israel tells you to your face. So we're out here telling you right now, but the average person from Ephraim or Puerto Rico will be like, I'm not doing that. You turn from it, right? But you're standing here. So that's a good account on you, right? So this is what this is explaining. Go ahead.
Right. Verse 11. Ephraim also is like a silly dog, without heart. They call to Egypt, they go to Assyria.
Right. So in other words, no heart to fight. Because they came over and it was like, there's no heart. The heart was removed from him. So it's like a silly dog, right? You might love the dog is great, but trouble comes, it's like, yo, go get it to Egypt. Now I'm going to walk over here to Syria because it's safe. Right. So this is what happened. And this is what happened in some of the slaves also. When they turn, that fear comes in. But the Most High didn't create us with fear. Go ahead.
Right. Verse 12. When they shall go, I will spread my net upon them. Right. I will bring them down as the fowl of the heavens.
So the Most High is angry about that. So where you go, you're running, you're not following me, then I'm going to bring you down. Right? So this is his curse to everyone. You don't follow me, I will bring you down.